That scamp Kylon sent you, right? Glad he hasn't forgotten about us. The mercenaries are right there. If you're here about other things, just speak up.
Stop playing games, Isabella. We want our money.
I think you forget who you are speaking to. I will give you a chance to leave quietly.
Brazen hussy. Someone needs to put you in your place. She's too good.
Be off with you now, and be glad I only took from you your gold. Fools.
Right.
A Grey Warden. And I had heard that all the Ferelden Wardens were killed or exiled from this place. Oh, don't look so surprised. I've seen many of your kind in my journeys, and there is always something odd about you. Huh, strong hands. Could I entice you to leave your order and sign up as one of my crewmen? I could use those strong hands at my helm. I assume you saw that little drama, and none of these poor brutes has ever proven a match for me. They are too clumsy and predictable. I fight with quickness and wit, rather than with brute force and strength. I call myself a duelist because I honed my skills in duels with warriors I encountered over the years. As I said, it is better to avoid being hit, and it is best not to get into fights at all. An unusual request, coming from a fearsome slayer of Darkspawn. I am flattered that you wish to learn from me, sweet thing. But I have watched you, and you seem to lack a particular grace that is required. You are accustomed to doing battle a certain way, yes? I can teach you some basics. Perhaps you can pass it on to someone who might be interested in what I have to offer. I do, however, wish to get to know my potential student better. So we shall call for a drink, and you will honor me with a game. Have you ever played Wicked Grace? It is easy to learn, but difficult to master. You must watch your opponent's moves as carefully as your own. Before we start, the cards must be shuffled. Shall I, or would you like to? Good. Go ahead, then. Are you done yet? 5 cards each to start with, and may the cleverest player win. Ah, a wonderful card for me. Please, keep your hands to yourself. Ha! The Angel of Death card. The game is over. We must show our hands. I don't think I've ever seen quite so odd a hand. None of your cards match. I have 4 knights. Roses, ages, sacrifice, and wisdom. It beats your hand. Still undefeated after all these years. Will I never meet my match? Ah, you're a good sport. Another game then. Before we start, the cards must be shuffled. Shall I, or would you like to? Good. Go ahead then. Are you done yet? 5 cards each to start with, and may the cleverest player win. It looks like the deck is being kind to me today. Please, keep your hands to yourself. Ha! The Angel of Death. Oh dear. Is that what you have? I have 4 knights. Still undefeated after all these years. Will I never meet my match? Not so fast, sweet thing. I'm not sure I know you yet. Come. Another game? Ah, you're a good sport. Before we start, the cards must be shuffled. Shall I, or would you? Good. Go ahead then. 5 cards. Is it my turn again? Please? Oh dear. I have... Still undefeated after all these years. Now. There's no need for such petty accusations. You are simply an inexperienced player. You will get better with practice. Ah, you're a good... Before we start, the cards must be shuffled. Shall I? Very... There. Oh! I think this card will come in handy. I shall draw another card. And you may draw another too, if you wish. Ha! Ah, quite a good hand, sweet thing. I have 4... Still undefeated after all... Ah, you're... Before we start, the cards must be shuffled. Ah, a wonderful card. I shall draw another card. Ha! Oh dear. Serpents of Deceit and Avarice, Songs of Temer... Still undefeated after all these years. And so do I. I've never been so bored in my entire life. If you cannot understand how to win at Wicked Grace, you will never understand what it is to be a duelist. Ugh. I feel several times more stupid for having played you. I'll need a few months to recuperate at least.
Welcome to the Pearl. I'm Sanga, the proprietor. Have a seat, get comfortable, and tell me what you need. Every one of my people here is a skilled craftsman, and don't let anyone tell you different. You'll have to go one at a time, I'm afraid. Our rooms aren't quite big enough to share between so many. But we can discuss that in a moment. So what would you like me to show you? The men or the women? Or some of both, if you prefer.
Turn around and walk, stranger. This affair is for White Falcons only.
Get a load of this guard. You're telling us what to do?
That's supposed to scare me? The Falcons get to hunt. Everybody look sharp. Maker, protect me! Mercy! Mercy! We'll leave. We'll do whatever you want. Just no more.
Tell Kylon I owe him one.
Did you speak often with Caleb?
You're asking me if I have a relationship. This should be easy enough. With my brother, aren't you?
Yes. I wonder what he thought of you.
I don't think he cared much about my existence. I didn't mean anything to him. Anyway, to answer your original question, no. We never spoke. Well, maybe once. Marek and Kaelin had come to Redcliffe to visit the Arl. I was very young then. We were introduced. I believe I said, "Greetings, Your Highness." He said, "Ooh, swords," and ran off to the armory. So, yes, that was the extent of our relationship. We drifted apart after that. It was very sad.
Another Grey Warden supporter.
Not just a supporter, Payton. That's a Grey Warden. He's the one Arl Howe is looking for.
Our trap landed a Warden? You've got one chance to surrender. For what it's worth, I believe you. Not that I particularly care. We're not common guards, Warden. We're Howe's elite. Shavra, Tennant, and Jarvie, let's kill ourselves a Warden.
Show me what you've got. Let's make this quick, shall we? You had it coming. Done with you now.
Yes? What? Is it customary where you're from to give complete strangers questioning looks? And how is the polite way to respond? Maybe to tell you to go away? And that I'm busy? They call me Casimir. I'm first mate on Captain Isabella's ship. More than this, you do not need to know. You are surprised. Isabella is no ordinary woman. Isabella commands the crew on the Siren's call. She is a remarkable woman, and as you saw, quite formidable. She calls herself a duelist. But you cannot pay me enough to duel her. I'm not so stupid as those two. You should ask Isabella. I do not know how to explain.
I've got nothing to say to you.
Welcome back. What can I get for you, honey? Wait here. Now, before you choose one, let me remind you of the guild rules. You see these lovely gentlemen by the door? If you don't play nicely with my people, these boys will have words with you. You'll pay up front, 40 silver. I'm getting tired of throwing soldiers off the pier for forgetting their coin. We're a craft hall, not a public charity. So, shall I let you get acquainted? It's 40, and I don't care whose army you're in. We have taxes to pay, just like everyone else. Go ahead and choose, then.
Try this way. Fell me like the Darkspawn, and make inroads in the south.
As you wish.
I was hoping I'd find you. I heard about the Pearl. Scrapes, bruises, and a few broken things, but no deaths. You showed restraint. The Pearl's workers will...
Some of those men were mine, guard dogs. Anyone hurts one of the White Falcons, they answer to me.
I see. Don't bother sparing these louts. Things are about to get messy.
What?
Voluntarily attack you? Are they just stupid? Here's the payment I promised. I might have more work if you're interested. But I'm heading back to the Market District. Back alleys are just too dangerous for me.
Let's get started.
Speak.
You thought to escape me, eh, Warden? I would prefer to fight with honor, but over scum like you, I'll take any victory I can. Men, attack him!
Just go!
You're getting sloppy! Let's make this quick, shall we?
As you wish.
Win?
Yes, Alistair?
my shirt has a hole in it.
I see. And?
Can you mend it when you get back to camp?
Can't you mend your own clothes? Why do I have to do it?
Sometimes I pick up too much fabric and it ends up all puckered and the entire garment hangs wrong afterward. And you're, you know, grandmotherly. Grandmothers do that sort of thing, don't they? Darning socks and whatnot. You don't want me to have to fight Darkspawn in a shirt with a hole, do you? It might get bigger. I might catch cold.
Oh, all right. I'll mend your shirt the next time we set up camp.
Oh, and while you're at it, the elbows kind of need patching too.
Careful, young man. Or puckered garments may be the least of your problems.
A little something extra.
Good to see you back. I've got complaints in the Nord Noble Tavern that some mercenaries have invaded. Nothing violent has happened. The sellswords are probably just disturbing the nobles' rarefied conversation. Just drum the louts out of there. The barkeep doesn't mind some blood. Or sport, as she called it. Captain said Denham won't miss a few dead mercenaries. Do what you will, and good luck.
As you wish.
What are you looking at? We're the Crimson Oars. You haven't heard of us. We're mercenaries from all over the world. We have won many battles, and tonight we drink before the next. We happen to like the ale better here, the wine too. Less vomit on the floor. So long as we're paying, they're serving! Ha ha! You may have a point. Barwoman, you and your women are too old and shriveled. Too many damn clothes, right, boys? Ha ha ha! Oars, we go to the docks. Let's find us some wenches!
Edwina sends her thanks for getting rid of the Crimson Oars. Mind you, she's disappointed there was no fighting. Here's payment. You've helped out a great deal. Thanks for the help you've given. Unfortunately, I have more headaches to deal with.
From the lowest slaves to the highest.
Ow!
What? Stop fussing with it. You'll make it worse.
It itches.
Yes, it's healing. Don't touch it.
But it's distracting. Can I rub it through the bandage? That's not really scratching.
Alistair, if you open that wound up, I'm not going to heal it again. You can just treat it yourself. And if it festers, weeping bloody pus, and burns like the flames of Andraste's pyre, don't come to me. All I'm going to say is, Alistair, didn't I tell you not to touch it?
It won't really fester, will it?
Why don't you try scratching and see?
I guess it doesn't itch so much now.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
Welcome back, Warden. As you can see, we've been busy. Cleaned the place up a bit. Even my brother Mikhail came out of hiding. Never will you find a finer smith. Also, got some goods stored here that might interest you. Buy them now before my cousins move it all someplace else. I thought about it, but I figured that it's not a bad thing to believe that you come from a line of lions. Even if the truth is a touch more complicated. Our family's belief that we were wronged. It gave us strength to make something of ourselves. King Arlen sounded like a right nasty piece of work. Sophia was branded a traitor. She consorted with blood mages. But in spite of it all, I think she was a hero. We've a big family. When you were away, we all pitched in. Hard to believe there were undead, demons, and worse around here, right? Haven't heard a peep from him. Seems to like keeping to himself, but I keep telling the children to stay away from the tower. Certainly.
Let's get started.
You? You're the warden? My family owes you. Any weapons I make, I will sell you for a discount. I have a family full of traders living a soft life, getting fat. I chose to learn the way of metal and stone. It keeps me strong. Indeed, I have spent my life studying steel, dragonbone, and more. I learned all I could in human lands, and exiled dwarves taught me more. Give me the finest metals and materials, and I can make wonders for you.
On it.
Feeling that for several days to come.
I've never seen an elf down here before.
They need us. If the gate stays closed, that city's starved.
Can I interest you in something? I've got the finest selection of previously owned armor and weaponry this side of Val Royeaux. Why pay through the nose for new equipment when you can buy it like new for much, much less? Oh, here and there. Look, that's really not important. The important thing is, it's cheap. And just as good as what you'd find at a smithy. Oh, of course. And remember, everything's covered by Farron's 24-hour lifetime guarantee.
Yes? Oh? What is this about? I worried this might happen. I hoped it wouldn't be you who came for me. I have no choice. Forgive me, Warden, but I cannot go back with you.
Enemy approaching. Is it just me? Or do you actually think you have a chance?
Folks came in yesterday with crazy stories about Redcliffe. You hear about that?
Something about the dead rising and killing everyone in Redcliffe. And Arlema nearly dead from some illness.
Crazy, isn't it? Sounds like the end times.
Make us breath, as if we don't have enough to worry about. Arlema would back up Terran Loghain if he were right. I know he would.
Oh, you wish to talk to me? Truly, it's a courtesy for one so well-armed to notice a lowly merchant. Someone has to. Trade with other races can dry up. We surfacers are Orzamar's lifeline, even if we're denied a caste. The Assembly says we've turned our back on the stone, but they still use the goods we bring. Hypocrites. Maybe it'll change by the time my children are grown. Twice a year, I'm confined to a trade stall in the Commons, but I see enough. It's very closed in. My grandfather says I've lost my stone sense. I was born topside. I don't remember having it. Best of luck to you.
I would like to be alone, if you don't mind.
Oh, you want to see some of the best? Why pay through the nose? Come back.
King Loghain will not suffer the delay of his appointed messenger.
Vieta, this land is held in trust for the sovereign Dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
None more important than mine.
Your business will wait. Orzammar must limit outside influence until the throne is settled. No one gets in.
Who doesn't? If I don't get in, no one should.
Orzammar has no king. Endrin Idukan returned to the stone not 3 weeks ago, sick over the loss of his sons. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
Wait, who are you to speak for Ferelden? You're no messenger to Loghain, that's for certain.
Thank the ancestors.
The Wardens killed King Cailan and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden. Your bluster won't work on me. I'm a messenger of King Loghain.
Kill each other as you will, but take your sodding fight off my doorstep.
As you wish.
You've done me a service. That fool Imrek was barking for a week. Are all humans so touched? You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden. Though I don't know what help you will find.
Drost Vala, Warden. Your arrival is a mixed blessing. We prefer that outsiders not witness our infighting, but your presence will be tolerated.
Those statues are dwarven paragons, if I remember right. The best of their ancestors.
If there is anything complimentary to be said about these people, it is that they possess a remarkable facility for carving stone.
Spare a few bits for an old man. Show respect, Surfacer. You're in the Hall of Heroes, home to the best of us. Paragons, dwarves who achieve such greatness, they're considered ancestors even if they yet walk among us. If only we had one now. A unifier. A voice like that, there would be no dissension. Perhaps I don't want you to. A surfacer should not see us in this kind of disarray. Goodbye, Warden. I hope you're not needed.
As you wish.
Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter. If you work hard like Branka, all Orzammar will know your name.
Mother, I don't want to be like her. She...
Don't say that! Not to me, not to anyone. Now get back to the forge. I want to see more details.
Yes, Mother.
For the love of Paragons, please.
Do you think the tower is ever going to get back to what it was when...
I don't know. A great number of people died. It will be difficult to imagine rebuilding, with that cloud hanging over everything for many years to come.
Do you think you'll be there? To help rebuild, I mean, once this is all over with.
I cannot say. Even if I survive this blight, I am a very old woman, Alistair.
Why? Because of some grey hair? You are a formidable woman, Wynne. You could see that it happens.
I think you overestimate the number of years I have left. But perhaps you were right. Or perhaps the memories of what happened there will be too strong for me to face.
I have a hard time believing that.
Well, it's good to have someone that believes in me, so... Now if I could only feel the same way myself, that would be something.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
You'll not speak that way about the man who should be king! I won't have fighting in the cup. Especially in front of outsiders.
That son of a fool, I'll have him in the Legion.
Vieta, Surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order. Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the Assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harrowmont. Is one so different? No paragons here. They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the Assembly. Lord Harrowmont speaks through Dulin Ferender from his estate. See, that's why I don't want you surfacers seeing our worst. You'll think that's all we are. The market is thin, but busy, and the tavern never closes. Bad blood is usually kept to the proving. Should toss Balin and Harrowmont in there, sort this all out in a hurry. Yes, you should.
Wow. So this is Orzammar. It's huge!
For a tiny people, they certainly build high ceilings.
Where did they put all the rock, I wonder?
As you wish.
Welcome to Jannar Family Armorers. I must say, you look like our type of people. Looking for a new set of mail? At Jannar's, we have everything from leather to platinum. Aye, for 100 generations. My father made his name by inventing a Fald and Tacet, which were integrated into the cuirass. But, I'm guessing by your face, you're not a smith yourself. I stay out of politics. It's not good for a smith to get the attention of those who grant vendors licenses. Lord Harrowmont's a fair man. My father did business with him, and he always paid on time. But the Idukans have served us well. If it is the ancestors' wisdom to keep them on the throne, I cannot object. Of course, keep in mind we also take items on trade.
Let's get started.
Did you see that fight? In the old days, those men would have been told to join the Legion of the Dead. At least then they'd put that anger to good use. But not these days.
Welcome, traveler. You look like you'd appreciate a chance to browse some good Orzammar steel. That's a broad question. If it's gossip and ale you want, Tapster's is just east of here. If you want more action, check out the Provings. I heard there's a memorial tournament for King Endrin this afternoon. Best fighters in Orzammar. Aye, they say King Endrin named an heir on his deathbed, but the Deshers are too busy fighting for power. I met him once. Didn't even mind talking with one of the merchant caste. But when he left, I saw him slap around his second. If he wasn't Prince, he'd be the kind of man I wouldn't want my daughter marrying. They say Lord Harriman's a strict disciplinarian, but a good and fair man. He's always paid on time, 10% up front. I hope you find something to your liking.
Ancestors, guard my son. Lost in darkness. Mothers, keep him safe, for you know what it is to mourn. I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone. My name is Vilda, widow of Turok of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Ruck. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul. It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them. The Deep Roads are where Darkspawn come from. They descend for miles into the earth, and we must patrol them constantly or be overrun. I lost my husband to them. If I lost my son the same way... The captains don't want to lose anyone searching for stray men. Too many were taken by Darkspawn that way. The Deep Roads are where Darkspawn come from. They descend for miles into the earth, and we must patrol them constantly or be overrun. I lost my husband to them. If I lost my son the same way... How? There is no way except to brave the Deep Roads yourself. A warden. So you could do it. Only wardens face the Deep Roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers.
Take heart, good Widow Vilda. We'll do our best.
Please, find me as soon as you return.
What is that smell? Dwarven vomit. Charming.
Is that drunken singing I hear?
I do not even want to think from what manner of substance a cave-dwelling people would create their spirits.
Oh, wonderful. A dwarven tavern. I've always wanted to try some of their ale. I hear it's quite potent.
I tried Dwarven Ale once. I thought it was just something they tricked surfacers into drinking, as a joke.
Ugh, just do not buy anything.
Atrast Vala, stranger. You must be the Grey Warden we heard about. Welcome to Tapsters. I'm Cora, your hostess. How may I serve you? So you come to Tapsters? I guess you're not asking for anything official, or you'd be at the Shaperate. But I can certainly give you a mole's eye view. It's the bureau of all the Shapers in Orzammar, led by the Shaper of Memories. If you're from the surface, I guess you'd call them scholars. They keep all of our records, laws, genealogies. You got questions about Orzammar's history, and don't mind answers in words as long as your leg, that's the place to go. He'd be in the Diamond Quarter. Pardon, the Nobles District. Upstairs from here, however you call it. The nobles stay upstairs, except when they're slumming. You'll find the Assembly there, the Palace, the Shaperate, and plenty of estates. Down from here is just Dust Town or the mines, so my recommendation is avoid. It's not part of the city, just some old tunnels where the Castlists build their nest. No one goes there if they can help it. But if you want fun, your best bet is the Proving. It's a chance for all the best fighters in Orzammar to test their skills. There's a tournament today. Arenas between here and the Diamond Quarter. A Grey Warden is always welcome in Tapsters.
Afternoon, stranger. You looking for a stool to share a brew? I recommend the Lycan Ale. They brew it downstairs. Name's Naveen. I fight with Prince Balin's Expeditionary Field Unit. Yourself? Figured as much. Good folks, Wardens. I was in the Deep Roads when that one came by. What was his name? Dukan, Dunka... something like that. I met him, sure. Good man. Solid. He knows what we go through in the Deep Roads. Not many do. Not even the ones who live this close. You have to be on the front lines. I go where I'm sent, fight when I'm there, and leave politics where it belongs. Darkspawn. Not much use in turning our weapons elsewhere while those vermin still live. Every Grey Warden ends up there. That's where they send you when you're ready to leave this world. Go die in the dark, putting away as many vermin as you can. Getting more crowded these days, though. Lots of people interested all of a sudden. We go back tomorrow, and we're not the only ones. Balin ordered us in at first bell. He's splitting us into 4 teams to search for some of the lost ties. Looking for signs of Branka, I guess. Seems to be who everyone's after. Branka was a paragon, some kind of great smith or whatnot. But she went batty and let her whole house into the Deep Roads more than 2 years ago. No chance she could have survived. And a lot of good men are gonna die looking for her corpse. Excuse me. This brew is starting to taste awful bitter.
They're everywhere! I can't take it! What? Get away! You'll change like the rest! Monsters hidden in all my friends! There's things older than Darkspawn. And once you're in the story, they find you. See? I found copies. All from the same pen, and older than the ones in song. Dormant my ass! Take them! I want out! I won't disappear chasing a lie! I won't!
Told him I don't understand why the provings aren't open to everyone. I mean, it's how the ancestors show their favor. Do they really need our help to decide who's worthy? And then he practically slapped me. Lord Dennick Helmi, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending time in taverns. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden? Very good. I guess someone already told you I was good for nothing, drinking my life away at Tapster's. Or did they leave off at greatest shame to ever fall upon the Assembly? I've always liked that one. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent dishes if we gave them a chance and a seat in the Assembly. Orzammar is so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary. Me and 79 other fine, upstanding examples of how someone who's born into every privilege inevitably wants more. They're not fond of my views on equality. I doubt either candidate has been outside the Diamond Court in his life. But Lord Harrowmont seems a bit more forgiving. Prince Balin's brilliant, I'll give him that, and subtle as sin. But I don't think anything in Orzammar matters more to him than winning. Badly. Oh, you're serious? Well, it's simple, I guess. The king and elected deshers of the Assembly are at the top. Then it's the nobles. Then the warriors and all the craftsmen. At the bottom are servants. The casteless and criminals are below even that. Your caste is determined by that of your same-sex parent. And that's where you stay your whole life, whatever your skill. As you wish.
Excuse me, I'd rather be alone.
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them think we should open the gates for good. The more cracks in the old way, the better. That's what Balin stands for. Not your business, but I see where the gold is. He's the traditional pick, yet he wants a new way, whether some like it or not. Just as many say Harrowmont. Neither are paragons, and the scales being equal, I go with the promise of more trade. Can't find ore without splitting some stone. My investments are solid, I'll be fine. The Assembly has done us a favor. They've shown just how loose the sand is under our feet. It opens people to change. Orzammar will decide what we can or can't be. Blight may be imminent on the surface, but our warriors are well seasoned against dark spawn. There will be topsiders left for trade. There's no end to you. I'll take your gold. You're good for that.
Maker's blessing on you, brother. I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light.
Even in the very bowels of the earth, we hear no end of this chant.
And that is something to rejoice in, good sister. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar. there is resistance. It's obvious the world wasn't created by the mortal souls who dwelt within it. Yet the dwarves of Orzammar persist in worshipping their own forefathers. The Shaperid controls changes in Orzammar's structure and society. I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer meeting. Oh, I'd hoped you'd say that. I can see the Maker's hand on your shoulder, guiding you always. Please let me know as soon as you've heard anything.
So, you know that I'm a Templar, right?
I believe what I heard was that you were not, in fact, a Templar. You were trained as one before you became a Grey Warden.
That's right, but I still have all the abilities of one, of course. That doesn't make you nervous.
Should it? I am no apostate. Perhaps you should be directing this question at Morrigan.
She claims not to be afraid of me. Or anything, really. But you've had more experience with the Templars than her. I know how mages can sometimes...
The Templars serve a function, and a necessary one. If what has happened at the tower proves anything, it is that we mages can be dangerous, even to ourselves.
That's one way of looking at it.
And regardless, you seem like a decent enough young man. If you decide to slaughter me out of hand, I'm sure you would at least inform me first, no?
Oh, sure. Count on it.
Good day, stranger. Welcome to the Proving Arena. We're still closed until the fighters make their preparations, but come back this afternoon if you want to watch the show. Prince Balin called a citywide proving this afternoon to honor King Endrin's memory. All the best fighters in Orzammar will face each other in sight of the ancestors and win honor for their champions. Enjoy our grand city.
The Proving Grounds. Bloodsport entertainment for the masses, at its best.
Ah, the highlight of underground existence, I take it.
They don't kill each other in the arena, do they? I mean, why would anyone find that entertaining?
I should have stuck to common nugs. I've gone and lost them too. I'll never find them the way they skitter. No way I'm going back to that supplier in Dust Town. Guess I'm shutting it down. Gotta boil them before roasting, but otherwise no, safe as sand. Some people swear they make good pets. May as well leash a turnip, I say. Good on you, stranger. Only need one to turn this around.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? You look like you're not from around here. Oh, wonderful! I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle? Then I'm truly honored. I've never met an actual mage. Is it true you can manipulate nature's forces with your mind? Like you were born with lyrium in your veins?
Don't let the glamour fool you, child. Wielding magic is a dangerous occupation, and a great responsibility.
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study. I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing. That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcast. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperium's Verticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child? Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
Greetings, and welcome to Garen Garrison's luxury goods shop. Wow, there are a lot of you, and I've never seen one of those before. The things they come up with. What was I saying? Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't notice. Most people don't anymore. Or maybe they're too polite to mention it. I had a little incident a few years back. Too much time with the raw lyrium ore, you know. Maybe it was a bad thing. I cut myself and the dust got straight in the blood. Since then, it's been a little hard for me to concentrate. Except when forging. Then I'm straight as an arrow. Best work you've ever seen. Look around the shop. See for yourself. Well, it's the lyrium, you know. Raw blood of the earth. It's more alive than you and me. Most of the time, that's no problem. When it's all bundled up in a piece of steel, it'll leave you alone. But handling the ore directly, sometimes you get burned. It's not just your skin it takes off. It'll burn directly into your mind. Aye, of course we are. Weak surfacers like you touch the raw ore, and you'll bleed from your eyeballs in hours. Weird seeing how big you are. Even surface dwarves lose it. Us down here, though, we should be able to handle it just fine. Only not too much, and not every day, and not breathing the dust, and not direct in the blood. Ancestors' own bad luck. Not crazy, just a little forgetful. Don't worry, I'm fine when I work. Just look at my wares. I have the best blades here. Enchanted to hold fire, ice, anything you want to put in it. Right, best in the trade, you know. I work the ore myself.
Does that lead out to the deep roads? I hear they're crawling with darkspawn.
This no doubt leads out to the deep roads, the ancient passages that once led to the other dwarven kingdoms.
The deep roads are home to the Darkspawn now. Oddly, they're supposed to be safer to travel during a blight.
What's this? An elf? I'm sorry, but I cannot allow you past the front lines without Adesh's permission. And I've heard nothing of any new patrols scheduled to leave today.
Don't let the comm fool you. The Darkspawn are down there, aren't they, Commander?
Either we finally have the edge, which I doubt, or the beasts are building up numbers for the next attack.
The surface? But I thought the vermin never went up that far except
during blights. Ancestors save us if that's what's happening. What anyone knows? She went out there with her entire house and she's never coming back.
You don't think maybe she's still there, Commander? She is a paragon, after all.
And now she's an ancestor. No one lasts 2 years in the tunnels. Of course not. Down here, you're bound to run into giant spiders, deep stalkers, and other vermin. Ugly beasts they are. Walk on 2 legs, but they have the head of a worm and hunt in packs. Watch out. They're not afraid to take on a group their own size. A few outposts. Legion of the Dead, mostly. Fools that they are. Some scavenger types, too. It's an independent company of soldiers. They accept no command but their own. Anyone who can bear arms can join, no matter his crimes, or sanity. They hold a funeral when they join, and swear their only goal is a glorious death. Alright, for your sake, I hope you've no reason to come here again.
Go on, I'm out of the nug game. Got nothing to sell. Saraka, I'm back in the game, such as it is. I don't have much besides gratitude, but find a bunch more of these and I'll toss you whatever I found.
Ancestor smile on you.
Good day.
You have come at a
This is
difficult time.
grand. The noble
Orzammar
houses
is
do
ailing
love their
for want of a
luxuries,
king.
don't they?
Ah, the social strata quickly makes itself evident no matter where one goes.
So the closer you live to the surface, the higher class you are. Unless you're actually on the surface.
Legion of the Dead sight Darkspawn near Orzammar. They have no orders while throne stands empty. Make Harrowmont your king now!
This has dragged on too long. It's an insult to King Endrin's memory.
Grey Warden arrives in Orzammar, most likely to pay respects to the rightful king, Prince Balin.
So this is the seat of the king. Except he isn't sitting there at the moment, I suppose.
So, how is it the dwarves have a king? I thought they voted on everything, or something like that.
For such a short people, they do rather like their buildings.
On.
Good on you, Warden. You caught them in the act. I guess desperate times drive people to strange things. My lord.
As you wish. Time for some fun!
Yes?
coming. Is it just me, or do you actually think you have a chance? Time for some blood! Let's make this quick, shall we? No quarter! Time for some blood! Right.
No one enters the prince's estate without an invitation.
As you wish.
Thief! Who would dare take from the memories? Warden, I'm outraged. A thief in the Shapered. What have we been reduced to? I did. He was bald, with the most garish brand across his head. Almost like he took pride in being castless. Imagine! He's probably in the slums somewhere. As if he'd find a buyer for a stolen tome in Dust Town. They couldn't know the value.
Oh, pardon me. Were you looking for a particular volume? Not that I could really help. I, don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research. I was looking for something about the Orton Tig. It was lost during the last Blight. Warden? They were a noble house once, descended from the Paragon Orton, who composed the grand epic of the Seven Brothers and the Ortonic Symphony. My mother's family believes they were descended from Kalana Orton, who was training in Orzammar when the Tig fell. I'm even named for the house, Orta. Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the Tig's ruins, somewhere in the deep roads. You're from the surface. What do you know about fighting Darkspawn? There aren't even any expeditions planned until they settle this election. Otherwise, you need special permission from the Assembly, or some great lord. A Grey Warden? Mother always said that if anyone could find the Tig, it was the Wardens. I hear Prince Balin and Lord Harrowmont have both been sending out small teams these days. Yes, if you can find the Tig in any records, that could do it. That could prove I'm a noble. If you could. Maybe now that you're looking, it's almost too much to hope.
When I last walked this hall, Endrin was king and Orzammar was at peace. The memories often speak of the swiftness with which change overtakes us. But it is different to see it firsthand. I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. I am Zebor, the Shaper of Memories. The Grey Warden's visit has been recorded in the memories, along with all who accompany you. Ask, and I shall do my best to answer. According to our legends, 7 brothers founded our empire. The youngest, Bloadlik, was the wisest and was chosen king. His children formed the noble caste. The eldest, Giached, trained his sons to defend their king. They became the warrior caste. Shotgyar founded the artisans. Orzatyar forged our first swords. It was Orzammar who dug the mines that became our city's foundations. The twins Koapar and Noct both founded trading houses, but Noct was wounded in battle. On his recovery, he swore to serve his brother's sons. The casteless descend from criminals and those repudiated by their own families, or who chose to go to the surface and live by human laws. They have no ancestors to guide them and no families to claim them. They should not have been born. Their parents defied their shame and brought cursed children into the world. It's better they die young. Their births are not recorded in the memories. In Orzammar, they do not exist. Is there something more pleasant you wish to discuss? We were a great empire once, outnumbering even humans and elves. We traded with your Tevinter Imperium, and our land stretched as far in the deep roads as theirs did above. Kal Sharok was capital then, but we lost too many battles. We lost our golems, and we lost our territory. Now the Empire is simply ruined tunnels filled with Darkspawn. The Paragon Caridin, a smith of unsurpassed genius, invented the golems. For years they were our weapon against the Darkspawn. One golem is worth a dozen dwarves in battle, but Caridin's Tig is far into the deep roads. When it fell, we lost his secret to creating golems. There are books about it along these walls if you would read more. They are to us what a colony is to surfacers. At the other side of the old empire, during the last blight, the kings of Orzammar knew they couldn't hold everything. They sealed the deep roads, abandoning everyone still trapped in far-flung settlements. It was the only way to survive. Kal Sharok is the only other city to outlast the blight. We only rediscovered them recently, and they still haven't forgiven us. I will settle your mind if I can, Warden. Please, speak your mind. That is an odd request, especially for one so new to our city. I thought so. This is not the first time he's made this plea. My answer to Brother Burkle hasn't changed. So I ask you the same. On what basis would you have me insult the ancestors and overturn 2,000 years of tradition? Brother Burkle said as much, but Orzammar is more than capable of caring for its own. So far, the world has done quite well without your maker. I am in no hurry to change that. Now, if there's nothing else. Wherever this chantry has spread among humans, it replaced all beliefs preceding it. Were we to let these preachers into Orzammar, how long before the ancestors stop hearing the voices praising them? You are an outsider, Warden, but not outside the law. I hope you will not do anything to challenge the stability of Orzammar.
As you wish. This should be easy enough.
Ah, you return, Warden. Ask, and I shall do my best to answer. Your